Welcome, students, as we prepare for another episode of DC Graduates. I am one of your hosts, your doctor recommended dose of nerdiness, aka your nerd of day, Carlos Rodriguez, and I am joined, as always, by my fellowship. What do they call other teachers? Is there no
Co-worker?
professor? Professor?
Co-teacher?
Co-teacher?
Fellow professor? Yeah, sure.
Fellow professor. There we
I'll
go.
claim that.
I
Yeah.
want like a solid title, so I think professor would be
Yeah.
good. Professor
Uh-huh.
Sly, how are you?
I'm doing great. We watched 2 movies this week. We're doing a double feature, and there is a lot to talk about. So why don't we dive right in?
There is a lot to talk about, and that's why, because we are talking about the seminal adaptation of the 1986 Frank Miller classic, The Dark Knight Returns. These movies came out in 2012 and 2013, and now a lot of times you can find them as like a deluxe pack if you buy them like on Blu-ray or anything, like Sly did. That comes in one disc, right? I'm assuming now. No, you got
No,
the
it was 2 discs. But it was part of the aforementioned 18 movie 80th anniversary collection super pack. I got both part 1 and 2. I did have to switch out discs midway through, which felt really nostalgic, and I'm glad that I'm embarking on this physical media journey in the year of our Lord 2024.
It's like watching Lord of the Rings, the extended edition. You have to actually switch the Blu-rays out for those, and that threw me off. But that's a better movie than Titanic, which you have to do that VHS. Anyway, um, just to get all the Titanic hate out of the way. Yeah, but I wonder, as an aside, I wonder if you get the deluxe edition Blu-ray, if it's 2 discs. They just put both discs in one package, you know?
Probably,
Yeah,
honestly.
that's probably
Why
what they
not?
did. But yeah, we're talking about Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2, as I mentioned, 2012, 2013. Hosted by Jay Olivia. Written by Bob Goodman. Studios WB Animation. Stars, very near and dear to my heart, Peter Weller, Mr. Robocop himself, Ariel Winter from Modern Family, and some weird ass horror movies I've seen before. David Selby and my beloved Michael Emerson from Lost. This plays Brainiac in My Adventures of Superman. One of my favorite actors. Oh, damn, what's that? I know you've seen it. Person of Interest, is that the show on
Fuck,
CBS?
yeah, I've seen Person of
Yeah,
Interest.
I was like,
I don't know how you remembered that I watched that, but that was
nah, because
impressive.
you love all these procedurals. That was a guess. You never even mentioned.
Yeah,
I was like, Sly's fucking seen. She's
I
like,
love a
Sly has
procedural.
seen all these procedurals on CBS. I was like, person of interest, because you mentioned Scorpion at one point. Like, wasn't that on CBS?
I
Like,
love Scorpion.
yeah,
It was
yeah, yeah.
on CBS.
So I'm thinking like
I,
person of interest like probably led into Scorpion or vice versa. So I was like,
shout out to Bull, that one with Tony from NCIS, where he's the court
oh yes,
jury analyst thing,
very
whatever. That
problematic
was a fun
person,
one.
but yeah, that was a fun show.
Oh, is he? I don't
Oh
exist on the
yeah,
internet anymore.
uh,
That's okay. Oof. Ouch.
yeah. Apparently him, possibly Freddie Rodriguez, which hurts my heart. I know he's on that show too. And he's one of my favorite actors because I watch my favorite Christmas. This is fucking an aside, but we're gonna go through it anyway. My favorite Christmas movie is Nothing Like the Holidays, which follows a Puerto Rican family during Christmas, right around our war in Iraq. And Freddie Rodriguez is in
Mm.
it. I'm like, oh, I love it. And like, I used to tweet at him. And he used to be like, oh, thanks for watching it another year. And now I stopped tweeting at him because like whatever, he got kicked off
Yeah,
the show for some reason. I was like, I don't know why.
we
Yeah,
don't know
Elijah
why,
Dushku,
but
man, made a lot of money because of some fucked up shit that happened on that set.
mm, mm.
She spoke out,
All right,
as
we're
you
not
should.
here to talk about that. We're here to talk about
We
some
got
DC animated movies.
exactly. We have other controversies that I'm gonna gather
I'm
all these
so excited for
controversy.
your controversy.
This is gonna be
Yeah.
bad.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be
That'll
so
be
many
great.
people hating me by the end of this episode. So
I do want to do our
yeah.
host history real quick because
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I'm so excited to rewatch these movies, right? Like obviously I've seen them. They're classic, like they're iconic. And I watched part one, and I was like, ah, yes, I've seen this movie. Okay, this is familiar. I remember this. And then I put on part two, and I get like maybe 6 minutes in, and I go, what the fuck is this movie? I've never seen this before in my life. So I was convinced I had seen it, but it turns out I had not. So that's my history. How about you?
So, you never read the book either?
Oh, I probably have
Like a long
ages
time ago,
ago.
right? Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
So, movie wise, I was probably the most hyped when DC Animated started doing like focusing on like, oh, we're gonna adapt a single storyline into a movie and see like how that works. So obviously, once they went to PG-13 straight to DVD, perfect for their market for this stuff. The first one they did was Superman Doomsday, which we'll talk about later on in our series, which was an adaptation of the
Also,
life and death of
an
Superman.
interesting one.
Yes, but this is the one that this one and Killing Joke most people want it, and I think I think
Mhm.
Killing Joke's on this season for us.
It is.
It is. It's like near the end, right?
Yeah, I did move it to this season. It probably should have been in Elseworlds and not Origin Stories. However, I always double feature it with a certain movie that we'll cover right afterwards, so I'm making you all go on that emotional journey with me.
Yeah, you're taking us with you down the journey. So yeah, this is the one that a lot of people wanted. I wanted it because I'm a big fan of the 1986 series. Um, I am and I'm not, and that's for the our roundup. As I've gotten older, I've come around to a different idea of Frank Miller's writing. But this is was one again, like I mentioned, a lot of people really want it. So there was like a fervor, and it was very annoying at the time to be like, okay, so it's gonna be two parts. And then you're like, I don't want it to be two parts. Like, just at this point, they've been making solo movies about these adaptations, right? And for the most part, it works. But it isn't
Mhm.
until you watch this in its entirety, like we did for this episode, that you're like, they fit everything in the book, in the movie, in these two parts. And honestly, worth the wait. We're doing that currently for anyone who's watching this because we have like gone on tangents and be like, oh, we're gonna watch Cape Crusader because that's very relevant to the times or whatever. We will cover Watchmen, the new animated movie, when part two
Mhm.
comes out because we want to do the same thing that we're doing here.
Mhm.
This is the best way to watch it. Like watch both parts. Like watch the full story in however like 3 hours or however long it is. It's worth the wait. Um, and it really shows with this movie the love and care that they gave it to split it up to two parts. No compromises really, story wise, content wise. Actually, no content wise because there's like Nazi titties at one time. It's a whole thing.
We'll
Uh,
talk about the Nazi titties.
yeah, but that was my history with this. Yeah, this is one of the most highly anticipated ones, and there was certain websites of 2013, 2012 that you could find this stuff on. Did I use it to watch it this time again? Listen, it's not on Max, so
I legally purchased it. I am a corporate shill, and I spent my real hard-earned dollars on these movies.
listen, listen. I get to say fuck David Zaslav for two reasons now. Get, as his post, like he again doesn't watch the show, and if you do, hey man, can I get some tickets to AEW? Again, they're coming to Philly soon. I will wipe away all the David Zaslav heat. Also put all your shit back on Max. This shit's not on Max. Does not make sense. If you want to purchase it on digital, it's like $12.99, which again, $25 for like two movies that are amazing. Sure.
Mhm.
I didn't purchase it though. um, so you have this again, this little nugget that we always have, this little segment where we say "fuck David Zaslav" because this shit's not on there,
Mhm.
and he's constantly taking stuff on there. But now, for a quick 2 seconds, fuck you for taking all of AEW's pay per views off Bleacher Report and telling me, "Hey, you've bought one before. You better opt into this other service so you keep that digital purchase you bought." Thanks, or you're gonna
Bullshit.
lose that $50 you spent like 2 years ago. Fuck you, David
Jesus
Zaslav.
Christ. That is absurd
Yeah,
behavior and absolutely unhinged. And we don't stand for that.
no.
So
Yeah, go
yeah,
have
fuck you,
have
dude.
Have fun with your Discovery Channel bullshit, My 600-Pound Life, and other stupid shit you put on your fucking platform. Anyway, Sly, hit us with the plot recap.
All right, we got two here. The first one, we're keeping it short and sweet. So, part one, Batman has not been seen for 10 years. A new breed of criminal ravages Gotham City, forcing 55-year-old Bruce Wayne back into the cape and cowl. But does he still have what it takes to fight crime in a new era? I like how he's like fucking ancient and he's 55.
Yeah, it's not that
Like,
old.
that man's walking around like, I don't know. Anyways, I guess that's what a life of crime fighting does to your body, is make you
To be fair,
old
like
and
forgetting his
decrepit.
age and then seeing Alfred, I'm like, how the fuck old is Alfred? And what happens to him in this movie? You're like, oh, okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. R.I.P. my beloved. All right, part two comes to us from Roman Warrior 2. Thank you for the plot recap. After a 10-year absence, the Dark Knight has returned to Gotham to fight the mutant threat. After defeating the mutants, he has taken control of a gang loyal to him in order to make Gotham a safer place. But the Joker has decided to stop this and fights against Batman in a deadly duel. Meanwhile, the Man of Steel is ordered to stop the Dark Knight because the government believes that his ways are wrong. As Batman fights the Joker, the Man of Steel prepares for his greatest fight. Dun dun
Bang.
dun!
Greatest fight. I love it. Comic book characters, hit us with that, Sly.
Yeah, we got Batman, obviously. We got Gordon, obviously. Alfred, my beloved. Superman makes an appearance. We got Joker up in this bitch. We got Two-Face, I forgot about that. Catwoman is here. Lana Lang is here. Oliver, I hate fascist queen, shows up. And of course, we have the homewrecker Sarah Essen as Sarah Gordon, now
That's Sarah
wife.
Gordon.
She
Yes.
made wifey status.
Yeah. And you
Good
know
for
how it
her.
is, man. You gotta keep an eye on both ends now, because you're the one who wrecked his house, and you probably are the reason why James Jr. is a psychopath and kills people. And now you want to come back and be a wife. I see how it is. I see how it
Mhm.
is.
Mhm.
Trollop. That's what she is. She's a trollop.
Oh, you're my
Yeah.
favorite, Carlos.
Thank you. But this is really cool. I do want to point out two things. They're in my notes, and we'll talk about them right now. I have such an issue with why is Catwoman fat and why is Lana fat? Like,
That's
did
how
that
they show
feel
how
weird?
women get old. They get
Like,
old and fat.
that's
Yes, it does
like
feel weird.
because like you see Gordon like making the joke and be like, oh man, every time you used to drink around us, like it was funny because now we know it was ginger ale. He's like, well, it's not ginger ale anymore. He's like straight drinking liquor. So is Catwoman. Why? Listen, it's whatever. Like Bruce is retired, but he's still in shape. So you telling me like Catwoman's not gonna be in shape? I doubt it, bro. I doubt it. And then Lana just feels it just feels like on purpose.
Gross and disgusting.
Yeah, I feel like when you see Frank Miller like draw women or like depict women, it's either the hottest of hot, butt naked for some
Uh-huh.
reason. Are they still strong, independent women? Sure. I've read Sin City. I've watched the movies. Are they naked at the same time? Both are true. Both are
Mhm.
true. There's no middle ground with him. Or now, apparently, just according to him and how they draw them too, because they don't look like normal bigger people, like a Waller. But by the time this airs, we've already talked about Assault on Arkham. How they
Oh, yeah,
depict
yeah,
Waller in that, like she looks like a super villain, like that's called the Whale
yeah. Mhm.
for no reason. She's never depicted that way. She's never drawn that way, and it just feels cruel and unnecessary in that
Mhm.
movie. That's what
Yeah.
Lana felt like in this. But shout out to Bruce. He was like, I still love me some Selena. Straight up makes out with her. Like, all right. Sir, this cop's about to shoot you down. You need to stop kissing
Yeah,
this lady.
I had questions about that. Cause like on one hand, she was assaulted by Joker, who like forcefully kissed her, and we're not
Yeah,
about that.
true.
But also, Bruce did not seem to get consent either, and just smacked one on her. And I'm like, Bruce, can we have a little bit of foresight here? Like maybe that
Yeah.
wasn't.
Do y'all have a standing thing that we don't know about in these
Yeah,
years? Like,
maybe they have an agreement, and that's between them. But that was a little like
I need
she was
consent on
just
paper.
violated, and it feels like you're just violating her further. Um,
Yeah, it was a little.
yeah.
It was a little. It was a
Yeah, we did not get explicit consent, and it might have been implicit and good for them, but it as a watcher, it was a little icky.
Yeah, yeah. And then Carrie's just like, "Why are these old people kissing? I want to get out of here. The cops will
God,
shoot
I love
me."
Carrie so much.
She's great in this. She is absolutely Ariel Winter. Legit kills it, and I know she doesn't act much. She's really good though.
Mm,
Every time she does something, every
she's a
time I
good
see
one,
her on
yeah.
something, I'm like, "Damn, dude, you're a really good actress. You need to do more stuff." I know. Hey, listen, if Hollywood's not your thing, I get it, but the shit that you've done, damn good.
Mhm.
Um, so let's get into. We won't start controversy time yet. We'll start with
Yeah.
the effect. We're doing the Andrea Romano roundup, of course. Always, we shout out our queen, Andrea Romano, voice director
Who voice
supreme.
directed both of these?
Yes, and it
Good
shows.
for
Like,
her.
is
And
she
it shows, yeah.
like? Because you get somebody like, no offense to anybody, right? You get someone like Peter Weller, who I don't think has done a lot of voice work, but and for a split second in my head, I'm like, oh shit, that's RoboCop. I hear RoboCop, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But then like those 2 seconds pass, and the motherfucker's Batman, straight up Batman. Michael Emerson, straight up Joker. Everyone is straight up their characters to a T. It's perfect. Um, she did an incredible job in this. But I want to start with this first: the effect Batman has on society in the DC universe, because in part one and part two, the new director of Arkham, was it the Arkham House they call it now? They try to like revamp it.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's Dr. Bartholomew Walper. In the movie and in the book, he
Fucking name.
argues, what a douchebag too. He's such a weirdo. Looks like Simon and Garfunkel had a baby.
He really does.
Does. Uh, so and well, specifically in the movie, he talks about like he argues Batman's presence is what riles up Gotham. And in my head, my argument here is Batman's gone for 10 years. There's been an
Mhm.
uprise of this mutant gang who
Uh-huh.
has like slowly and steadily been taking over Gotham. Is it still though? Because I was having this debate while watching Penguin as well, right?
Mhm.
Watching it with one of the people who live in the house, and we were like, they're like, it's weird to see. He was saying like, it's weird to see a show that is mob based, and for Batman, I'm like, well, your exposure to Batman has always been, supervillains, Mister Freeze, Scarecrow, all this stuff. Like when it's down to brass tacks, this is how Batman always starts. It's always the mob, and then it is Batman's presence that does make Gotham get weirder. We get Joker, we get Crane. One could argue without Batman's presence in the DC universe, maybe we don't get a lot of this stuff, but maybe we do, and it gets unchecked because there is no Batman, right? Warple, the whole two movies, is debating the fact that like Batman's mere presence, his name alone, has caused so much damage to Gotham, even more so than any good that we've seen him do, right?
Mhm.
I want to get your stance on this because there's a cause and effect, I think. And I think to a certain degree, Warple's not wrong. I think Batman's presence, we see him in year one, he's literally just fighting the mob. But by the end of that, hey, there's some guy who's trying to, threaten the chemicals in the water. The weird shit starts happening.
Mhm.
So what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, my first thought is I don't know if you saw this video, but there was like a TikTok clip going around of like a news like video or something of some guy who was going around trying to like stir up like controversy in the city of Seattle, which I reside. And he was trying to make problems of like the unhoused people around and like the drug use throughout the city and stuff. And one lady was so iconic and was just like, crime is a social problem. And I think about that video on the daily. And I think that's my response here. Crime is a social problem. The city of Gotham has so many fundamental issues and systematic like oppression throughout the entire city,
Yeah.
and there will be crime because there are social issues and injustices, and people don't have what they need to survive and thrive. So there will be gangs, there will be, mob organizations, and people will organize and unite and fight for what they feel they are deserved and what they
Mhm.
need. And that's kind of the crime that Bruce grew up adjacent to, right? He sees this problem, and his solution is to take it into his own hands by dressing up like a bat and parading all of his neuroses throughout the city.
Mhm.
And so crime exists, it will always exist, it will continue to exist before and after him. However, he does inspire a unique flavor of crazy. And that's what we see in response to the idea of the Batman is you see the people messing with the water supply, dressing up in costumes, doing all these unhinged plots and ploys to get their 15 minutes of fame because they see how effective it is at getting the attention they're desperate for. And so in part, yes, that is Bruce's fault. Like that is a direct correlation to the
Mhm.
arrival of Batman and how he riles up the city in a particular way. However, when you remove Batman from that equation, we see less of the crazies to the point where the kids think Batman is an urban legend, is a folk tale. Like
Yeah.
he's not a human anymore. He's not a person. He is a story. He is an idea and a concept. And we've always had stories and ideas that inspire us. So we see this resurgence of this mutant gang, and there is, a flavor of crazy, but this is Gotham. So, like, at what point is that really his fault? And what part of that is him spending all his wealth on gizmos and gadgets and not restructuring, the system within which he operates?
Yeah, I mean that's true. And then two good examples of like other future iterations of Bruce. One we covered here, which is Batman Beyond. We see the Beyond universe. Bruce is out of commission for a little bit longer than he is here, and you see the futuristic Neo Gotham, and they tried to air that like it's better, it's more beautiful, it's this, and that. But like there are gangs, there's the Joker's gangs. There's like a gang for almost everything. We mentioned this in Return of the Joker. um Terry has had his own issues with on the wrong side of the law, and he wants to make atonement of that with being Batman. That's his outlet to kind of make repentance for his actions. There's still that level of crazy is no matter what. It's like the two the two main issues with Gotham is socioeconomic, right? That's one.
Mhm.
And then the funny version of it is OSHA. There's so many goddamn OSHA violations that we wouldn't get Victor Freeze, we wouldn't get honestly, we wouldn't get Joker.
God.
We wouldn't
Uh-huh.
get like Harley. We wouldn't
Yeah.
get like Pamela. We wouldn't. We probably only would have to deal with like fucking Bane, the Mob, and maybe some other people. Maybe Ra's al Ghul, shit like that. And for some reason, they see
Uh-huh.
Gotham as this beacon of like it's the worst city in the world. If we either wipe it out or we change it for the better, but in like our vision of it, we can
Yeah.
control the world. It's like, dude, this is a
Mhm.
shithole. Trust me, I
Mhm.
grew up in North Philly. That's a shithole too. Nothing compares to Gotham. Like if you're giving me the opportunity right now, as a father or two and a husband, be like, yo, you got to move back to your childhood home where there's like murders a couple blocks away. Sometimes the block may be all right, but every once in a while, you see some crazy shit. Or Gotham City, like I will move back home in an instant. Never in my life would I ever go and live in Gotham. And if there's any way out, I'm taking it. If there's Gotham was real, I would take it. And looking at pre-show, I was talking about like watching the more recent Matt Reeves Penguin series, and they confirmed that what it's been talked about, but it's been like kind of pushed away for the longest time. Gotham City's in New Jersey. I'm in Pennsylvania and Philadelphia. Well, right outside of Philly now.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, where Gotham is on the map, I would be an hour away. That means I'm an hour away, Sly, of Arkham Asylum,
Uh-huh.
of Blackgate Prison, of Gotham in general. That is way too close for me to be
Yeah,
anywhere
you're on the
near.
border.
I'm way too close. And my friend
That is
Bree,
like a third of the commute I used to do.
nah, I get 45 minutes is like bad traffic to get to work, and I don't live that far. You're telling me good traffic, I can make it to Gotham in an hour? Fuck that. No. Fuck no. Do you
No.
tell me the Joker can't be bored one day and be like, I'm gonna go to Philly for a day? No.
No.
Absolutely not. I don't want to deal with Harley. I don't want to deal with Two-Face. I don't want to deal with any of that shit. I'd rather deal with someone who hates illegal aliens. And by that, I mean legit aliens from space. I'd rather deal with Lex Luthor. Unlike Zachary Levi, who's, on the wrong side of history right now, I'd vote for Lex Luthor, compared to the orange guy. 100%. Because you know what? He doesn't hate
Yeah.
humans. I think he's equal rights for humans. I think he literally just hates space aliens. That's a bridge we could cross later on. Okay? Right now,
The problem with if you are living in a city with Lex Luthor, do you know how much structural damage happens in
I'll be
Metropolis?
fine.
Like, okay, I would be way more terrified of a building collapsing on me literally at any moment.
Very fair. Very
I
fair.
feel like I could learn to live with the crazies.
No, see, now, ideally, will I pick Metropolis? No, I'd rather do Central or Keystone City. Because I'd rather deal with
Okay.
a talking monkey and a
Mm-hmm.
guy who makes quips, who's very sassy, very gay, with his
I'll
ice
meet you
gun.
in Central.
100%. I'd rather deal with like sassy gay Iceman and Gorilla Grodd and all that shit. 100%. I would love to deal with the Flash. What worst case scenario? He runs too fast and my car breaks down. I'm fine.
And he steals your food. You gotta
Yeah,
pay the flash tax. That's
I'm
fine.
fine. I will leave protein bars everywhere I go for Wally and or Barry in a heartbeat. I am not dealing with
Mhm.
fucking Joker. And like the chill that came up my spine when I looked at the map and I saw it, I was like, that is way too close for my comfort. And that's a fictional universe. That
Uh-huh.
that scared the shit out of me. But but going back to the serious topic though, other than OSHA as a funny thing,
Oh my god, there's so many OSHA violations. You
Gotham's
wanna
the worst.
I bet even fucking Black Mask wouldn't be as unhinged as he is if there was OSHA actually functioning as they should.
Honestly, I think you're right. I think you're right. No, because honestly, it's just because even him, right? He's pretty much just a normal mobster who's a little crazy. You don't get
Mhm.
on the bad side, you fine. You don't take out a loan on him. That's fine. You're good. But then when that mask gets fused to his face, yeah, you're fucking done, dude. No, he's fucking crazy now. You got to deal with that
Mhm.
bullshit. No, fuck that, dude. There's a puppet. I forgot. There's a living fucking puppet with a Tommy gun. No, I
Uh-huh.
don't. There's a dude
Yeah.
who thinks
Yeah.
he's fucking Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. No, I don't want to deal with this shit. That shit's scary, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather deal with Freeze if I had to pick, honestly.
Yeah. Take
Yeah,
freeze.
I'll
He's
take Penguin.
logical. You
Normal
could
guy. Yeah,
reason with them. Yeah.
100%. You need some special diamonds. I know where they're at. I'll turn my
I
eye.
think Pamela and I would get along real well.
Yeah, I feel like she's all right. Yeah, because I'm on her side. You know,
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh yeah, me too.
Humans are the problem.
I support women's wrongs.
Yeah. Yeah, I support their rights and their wrongs. Okay,
Yeah.
equal opportunity here. That's how we are at Point of Progress. We're the most diverse podcast ever. Look at that. But no, honestly, like when you look at the socioeconomic stuff like that, I think that's the main crux of Gotham, right? There's so much corruption, and I think it takes, sadly enough, I think it takes Bruce like many years of being Batman to finally realize that, yo, you know what? My money, other than making fucking giant ass Batmobiles and flying planes and all this shit, maybe I'll put it toward the city. It might actually help a little bit. And you know what? It
It
does.
might, yeah.
It does a
It's
little
almost
bit.
like your second child could have told you that, but
Mm-hmm.
it's fine.
Yeah, because look, even our beloved Jason, who you just mentioned, right? look at it. What's his only outlet as a teenager of a drug addict? I know they're both drug addicts, right? His dad and
No, the
mom.
mom's a drug addict. His dad got on the bad side of the mob and went to prison, and then
Honestly,
get in prison.
yeah, that's anyone in Gotham. See, and what
Yeah,
does
right.
Jason do?
Again, he's making a living. Like,
And
I mean, he's a horrible person who beats his kids and wife, but like, he's just out there trying to make a living.
yeah, honestly, it's Gotham's fault. And then you get Jason,
Yep.
who's like, "I need to make money. What do I do? I'll steal the Hellcat off the Batmobile."
Good for you.
Yeah, you're
It's
lucky.
expensive.
Yeah,
You'll
you're
make
also
good money.
lucky that Bruce is on his good side today, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna beat this child to death. Okay,
Uh huh.
I'll take him
Yeah.
in. He is my son now."
That'll only happen later when Bruce slits his throat, but it's fine. We're not
Yeah.
here to talk about that
No,
yet.
no,
We'll
not
get
yet,
there.
not yet. But yeah, I thought it was interesting that a lot of the book. I actually forgot that the book focused a lot on the ongoing talk of like, is Batman the problem or is the society the problem? And it's like a little bit of both.
Which I think was a timely conversation for the book, but
Yeah,
it's surprisingly still a very timely conversation.
yeah, yeah. And the more, and I don't know if it's like, is it media literacy for us to be like, oh, now we've seen so many different iterations of Batman. Like, what is the issue here? Is it him? Is it somebody else? Because that question keeps popping up in different iterations. Again, I mentioned watching the Penguin. Is Robert Pattinson's Batman being around now? Is that why we get Riddler? Is that why we might get Mr. Freeze? Is that why we might get Clayface? Like, shit's getting weird now in that city. What's going on? Or is it just simply like, that's just what society has made Gotham? Like, society has made
Mhm.
this fucking shitty place. It's literally a dumpster fire of a fucking city.
Yeah.
Moving on.
That was a great
This,
discussion.
yeah, that was right. Yeah. Moving on is
All right.
controversy time with Carlos, as I like to call it.
My favorite time. I'm set. I'm seated. Take
I
it away.
have a few questions here, and one of them is, why does Frank Miller hate Superman? This is a question that's plagued me my entire teens to adulthood after reading this specifically. And he's gone on interviews to say he's just straight up hates Superman. And any given time he
It
writes him,
shows.
it shows. Yeah. He absolutely despises the character of Superman. It's like he doesn't understand him, right?
Mhm.
And nothing works when you don't understand a character, right? To go to another
Mhm.
universe real quick. You guys talked about Spider-Man 3 and MC University. Sam Raimi has gone on record saying, I didn't want Venom in this movie, and that's only because I don't like that character. And that to me would have been a disservice to put him in a movie where I don't like him, I don't know how to use him, I've never liked this character. Can we use
Mhm.
somebody else? And Sony and Avi Arad be like, you need to use Venom, you're gonna use Venom. I don't give a fuck if you like him. And look what you get. You get Topher Grace as Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah. No offense to Topher Grace.
And it shows. Yeah.
And then you get a lot of other problems, like the shit that we found out like 20 years later. Like, oh, we were gonna do like a full like comic book realization of it, but Sony stepped in and all this other stuff. So Frank obviously didn't have to write Superman in this story. This story comes out before he writes, the definitive take on, the origins of Batman in year one. Um, he just fucking hates Superman. And you just see it and it hurts. And there's some good commentary in this one, at least, with the placement of Superman being kind of like a government stooge, him standing for truth, justice, in the American way at this time, at least. Now, that has obviously has changed in more recent years. With now it stands for truth, justice, and better tomorrow is the official now DC tagline for Superman and the Superman family. So him, I mean, even his introduction in this, right? Let's talk about Clark in his Fabio. This is I'm gonna quote Brianna here, my friend, in his full Fabio outfit, right? He's got a buttoned up shirt, but it's not buttoned at all. Yeah, it's tucked in, full V on like display, with a fucking bald eagle on his arm. Where did that fucking bald eagle come from? He like called is like he's like the
But at
American
the
spirit.
farm, yeah.
Yeah, just he's the American spirit incarnate, and he just calls on the bald
Uh-huh.
eagle, and then continues to walk around with the bald eagle
Yeah.
as he's speaking to Bruce.
Just
Like,
chilling.
listen, if I was Bruce and I love Superman, I'd hate this motherfucker too. Like, it's you pop his prick. What the fuck are you? Seriously, the bald eagle.
Mhm.
That's how you're gonna walk around right now?
Mhm.
And he just despises the character. You can tell. You get cool moments, like obviously the fight at the end of this book slash movie, because it's a perfect adaptation, is amazing. Um, Again, how he places Clark, as this government stooge, someone who is trying to do right by the world that
Uh-huh.
is given. First of all, fuck Ronald Reagan, and this,
Fuck that, man.
yeah, and this universe and this like alternate history. It's Reagan's president, and he's like, you gotta do everything for your country and all this other shit, and Clark is a good guy, I think, in his heart, but he's very misguided when it comes to the
Mhm.
storyline that you get in this. Now, when you get to, the sequel to this, and when you get to the sequel of that, and when you get to, All Star Batman and Robin, which is in continuity with this universe, Frank Miller just hates this motherfucker. He really does. He sees him as like this pompous asshole. And I think that's skewed a lot of people to how we view Superman. This is me on my Superman defense argument. I think it's fun when you play with the character a little bit, and you get that the the fight that we get here, and it's not just a it's ideals fighting each other at the same time, as much so as a physical fight. And here it's done really well, I think. But when you get to something like Batman v Superman, which I'm wearing a shirt of, and you get to their fight, that is supposed to be an adaptation of this. When the sequel to Man of Steel was announced, it was announced with the quote that we have in drama class, which is on your darkest day, we'll do it in drama class, but that's how they announced this movie. That's how they did all this stuff. I There's such an issue with that specifically because Batman v Superman does such a disservice to this movie. It's like it takes all the cool moments that you see in the movie, in this book and this cartoon, this animated movie, and completely throws away the reason behind it.
Mhm.
What is set up, that Clark is being a stooge for the American government. He's still trying to be this truth, justice in the American way, even though he's not supposed to be an active superhero. There's not supposed to be any active superheroes. He's doing all his shit
Mhm.
quiet, but he's still working for the government, which is something that I don't think Superman would do, honestly.
Mhm.
To a certain degree, I think he would. I think he'd be like, I got you guys, don't worry, there's a nuke coming in, I got it, don't worry about it. But I don't think a true Superman, that true idea of what Superman is, I don't think he would involve himself to a certain extent and be like, I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna stop this war that could be America's fault. Who
Mhm.
knows? I'm gonna insert
Oh,
myself
it's
here.
probably America's fault.
Exactly. And it's a little bit of Russia, a little bit of America, but you know what? I'm an American superhero. Like, no, I think Superman is now a global slash universal superhero at this point, especially where we're at now in 2024. I think the ideals of who
He's a
he
global
is.
defender.
Yeah, I don't think he. Again, that's why they changed the wording, right?
Uh-huh.
Because it's not just the American way. What does that mean? Even
Mhm.
Captain America is not like the gung ho. I fight for America. He fights for what America
Yeah.
is supposed to be, not what it is.
Mhm.
And that's what Superman does. I think he's supposed to fight for what America is. What it should be. He's supposed to be that ideal we look up to. We're supposed to make ourselves better by seeing
Mhm.
Superman. You don't get that
I
here.
think it's been really interesting that we're finally starting to see a bit of a shift instead of being like nationalistic propaganda with these characters to inspire you to like, support the war your country's going off to. Um, Now it's more like, how can we better ourselves and our people? Um,
No.
I I love all of what you just said, especially as a Superman fan. So I'm gonna come to this stating that I'm not particularly a Superman fan. I don't super connect with the character. Like he's just never clicked for me. Like I understand what he represents as a character, and I understand the value of telling those stories and having those stories, but they've never really been for me. Um, and with that being said, it is blatantly obvious how much Frank Miller fucking hates this character and doesn't understand this character at all.
Yeah,
Like, this doesn't even feel like Superman. It doesn't feel like a portrayal of a character that I know pretty well, even if I don't resonate particularly with him. And to just see this character that you're so used to seeing as um like, you know, somebody out of place who's doing his best to live up to the values instilled in him by his family and use his existence for good and to support the people around him, for him to like immediately be a shill for the like American military like industrial complex is like, no, like that's weird and odd and
it
like
is.
not a choice that anybody who has like an ounce of understanding of that character would make.
Yeah, and he's
And
gone
yeah.
on, he's gone on to write, straight up Superman stories that take place within this continuity, post year one, Batman year one. Got Batman year one, no matter what, is like the start point. Like all his books are connected. And it's just so weird when he writes Superman. He's like tried to make up for it with his like I believe it's called All Star Superman run. And it's just not good. He like actively fights in Vietnam. He like does a lot of weird shit. It's just very strange to see. And then on the flip side too, if anyone out there has read All Star Batman, please comment down below because I think this will resonate with a lot of people. I think he loves Batman, but I think he loves his ideal of Batman. His
Mm.
Batman is very sadistic. And
Uh-huh.
how a lot of people will say like, "Oh my god," we've joked around this whole time like, "Oh, Batman's crazy," because he dresses up like a bat and fights the mentally ill, and we make jokes and stuff.
Uh-huh.
This Batman actively is happy causing pain. Like there's a couple times when he's fighting the mutants, like he smiles and he's happy about it. He wields a gun multiple times. Not like it's usually in self defense, but like for Batman to be okay holding a gun in his hand, right there off the bat, disservice.
We got a glimpse of that in part two.
Yeah.
He didn't seem okay. He was kind of a terrible shot.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I don't believe that Alfred's like ward and child isn't a good shot. Like no matter how
No.
much trauma you have around the weapon, like
Yeah. No.
that
He's
was the
gonna
first
know.
problem.
It's just he wouldn't. And then he has his quote, toward the end when he's trying to rally both the mutants, what's left of the mutants, and then the subsection that's left, the son of Batman, and he's trying to rally everyone in the citizens of Gotham, like to like, hey, we gotta be together, we gotta band together for Gotham, all this stuff, and he's trying to rally them. He's like, oh, we'll shoot who anyone. He's like, no, 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 this is a coward's weapon, all this stuff. Like, dude, not like 3 months ago, you held a gun and like actively shot it,
Hmm.
like just to like hurt someone, like to like shoot around them, to like have something break on them and some shit like that. I forget how it was in part one, but you had no issue. And there's like this like weird like inconsistency with Batman, with especially with Frank Miller. And again, you go back to All Star Batman and Robin, and his. Are you familiar with the book by any chance?
Maybe not by
It
name.
If you have free time, first of all, art is beautiful. Jim Lee does the art; it's amazing. The issue is the context of what you get with this Batman story. So he is his story of how he met Dick Grayson in this universe and how he raises him. He raises him in the worst fashion ever. He leaves him alone in a cave in some alcove in like the corner to fend for himself, and finds him eating rats at one point to survive, and he's sadistic, and he like breaks
That
his
is
arm.
child abuse.
Yeah, he breaks Dick's arm on purpose. Like he hurts him to like train
God.
him and all this stuff. He is
Okay, definitely have
yeah
not read this.
no, and then Dick is like almost like Jason, but like worse. You know how like they always portray Jason later on, like post like Red Hood. He was like, oh, he had a little bit of chip on his shoulder. He like didn't pull his punches all the way. He basically does this, and at one point, it's so stupid. I forget they're trying to intimidate the Justice League, and Hal is over, and Batman and Robin decide to paint everything yellow. Because this is, he has a yellow impurity in his ring. So he has everything's yellow. They're yellow. And
Uh-huh.
Hal's like, you need to stop. Like, Superman's trying to get you in line. The government's coming down. It's like an early onset of like, hey, the government's being weird about us being superheroes and active. You need to start listening to Clark. And we need to band together. We need to form this Justice League. And then like Batman sicks Dick on him. And Dick is sadistic. And literally it gets to the point where like Bruce has to stop him. Like
Mm.
yelling, like grab him by the collar, like that's enough. And like Hal is left like bloodied and almost broken by Robin alone. And it's like, all
Mhm.
right, obviously you don't like Hal Jordan either. Like, do you just like Batman? That just write Batman. There's no other superheroes. How about that? Just Batman and Oliver Queen for some reason.
I feel like yeah, which is weird because oh, sorry, alarm.
Okay.
Which is weird because of the typical interactions between Bruce and Oliver. But yeah, that was like I think what Frank Miller loves about Batman is not Batman, but the ability to project his like weird power fantasy onto this character.
Yeah.
And like don't get me wrong, he gets some really interesting and iconic and like seminal stories out of it. But every time there's just like a little something that feels off. Like it's just like slightly too far in my opinion in how I perceive this character. And that makes it a little uncomfy at times.
Yeah, I would love for you
Uh
to read. I think all 12 issues finally came out of All Star Batman and Robin. I would love for you to read that and like let me know what you think because there's so
yeah.
many other weird choices like him hooking up with Black Canary in the pouring rain as like someone's like burning off to the side because they just popped a drug bust and then they're both keeping the mask on because it's sexy that way. I'm like, ugh. Bruce, why? It's like it does feel very much like a Frank Miller power fantasy. And it's funny enough that previous episodes we have Mario, who's producer on the show, mentioned how Bruce Timm has that like he's kind of horny all the time and he kind of shows that with his
Mhm.
characters and
Yeah.
like Batman and Harley is a little bit of a very hornball movie. It is very much a power fantasy, and then when you read Sin City, a lot of the content is just like, oh, it's like everything I wrote in Dark Knight or All Star Batman and Robin, but like rated R. So let's go super crazy, do all the blood, all the gore, all the nudity, all the having sex, all this shit. And it's okay. Some of it's fun, especially when you're an edgy teenager, like most of us are, and you're like, I want to read grown up stuff. And it's like, I respect Frank Miller. I really do. And I think he has a cool vision. I think when you get to the Dark Knight, he has a story to tell with this very dark, twisted version of Batman he has. And on the flip side, because of this, we get finally a serious Batman, which we haven't had in a very long
Mhm.
time. Whether it be comic books, it was starting to ramp up with Denny O'Neil writing in the I think late '70s, early '80s. Then you have Frank coming in to do all this stuff and then you start like, all right, this is what Batman is again. He's dark, he's gritty, he's back to that roots almost, and then you get the Michael Keaton Batman movie, but it's such a disservice to Batman to here's a good stat. This is what I'm trying to get to. Robert Pattinson is the only Batman in live action to not kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Holy shit.
Yeah. Um
Mhm.
Keaton actively kills. Which and he's a great Batman. He's the one I grew up with.
Mhm.
He actively kills in those movies. Um, you get Val Kilmer, who takes over in Batman Forever. he like has no problem like not throwing, but like he basically causes Two-Face to die in that movie. Yeah, George Clooney, and I believe he actively just straight up kills Bane, right? Either Robin or Batgirl, but it's like it's caused because of that, right? Because of his
Mhm.
actions. Batman Begins infinitely has him killing Ra's al Ghul, and he even though he says I'm not doing anything, the train's gonna do it, and then flies away. That's active murder, sir. You're
That
the
yeah.
accomplice to the train's murder. I don't know how to say it
Mhm.
otherwise. You killed somebody, and then Christian Bale's Batman. Obviously, he's given this impossible choice, but like he kills Two Face, like, and then becomes this like martyr. He's like, "Oh, I'll be the Dark Knight that everyone hates." Like, so you just murdered someone. That little kid is gonna be a murderer because of you, because it's James Jr. and he's witnessed all this fucked up shit. Um, and then does he? He kills Bane. He kills Bane in that one too, in part three. Yeah, it's not. And then you get to Ben Affleck's Batman, and the motherfucker's using a flamethrower. He uses a gun at one point, because he's this in live action form, and he does kill. He kills KG Beast in Batman v Superman. He does a lot. He's willing to kill Superman, no questions asked. Doesn't even hesitate. Doesn't even
Mhm.
hesitate. He's like, I'm gonna murder you because you. Not Superman does nothing in that movie to warrant murder. Nothing.
He
Nothing.
exists, and apparently
That's
that's reason
yeah.
enough.
Thank God you both have the same mother by the same the same named mother, because that's the only way Superman's alive. It's just
The most bullshit. But we're not here to
so
talk about that movie today.
stupid. But yeah, it was an interesting stat. Robert Pattinson is the first
Mhm.
time in live action that we get a Batman that doesn't kill.
Mm.
In contrast to this, Batman is an accomplice to murders multiple times over. There's certain instances where Batman just lets a dude go, or something happens and he
Yeah.
has no problem letting him go. But one of my
That's the
big
thing
issues,
is like his morality is such a sticking point for me, especially as a big Jason Todd fan and like
you know,
how I perceive the world and like what it means and like where the line is, right? Uh like personally for me, putting somebody who is like stealing something to survive in a like coma because they dared to be poor is like more egregious than you know accidentally letting like a bad guy fall off of a roof, like
yeah,
whatever. um but like this like, and I think it plays into the how heavily autistic coded Bruce Wayne is as a character, but like his sense of morality is so strict and rigid and makes sense in his head, but like sometimes I have questions about like, sure, you can beat a guy half to death, but as long as there's a pulse, it doesn't count.
it's okay. And
Yeah.
then you get to that Batman, you see this Batman, we're like, I'd rather take that Batman. That at least there's a pulse.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because there's so many times again, like he is okay with like, oh, I moved out the way and that dude got shot. That's on him.
Hmm.
I didn't do anything
How many
wrong.
cops died in these two movies?
Man, he beats the
And
fuck out of
like
these
a
cops.
cab, but still.
It's insane. And then the other crazy thing is you get to the Joker, right? Which I
Hmm.
have the scene in drama class, and we can talk about it here really much, like a lot. He beats the shit out of Joker. I mean, obviously Joker kills so many people, and when Bruce sees him, he is basically on site. He's like, "It's been 10 years. It's time, motherfucker. We need to end this shit." And then out of nowhere, once like he throws a fucking batarang in his eye. He
Yeah.
knows what
And
he's
it just
doing.
stays there. All
Yeah.
fight.
Mm-hmm. And then it gets to the end of the fight, and Joker is like, he pisses him off so much that Batman breaks. Joker wins. He's right. He wins the fight because he got him to get that angry that he almost snapped his neck. It's like
Mhm.
all but like a tendon is left, and
Yeah.
Joker's like, "Fuck it, I'll do the rest," and just kills himself. But
Yeah.
for all intents and purposes, Bruce is the one who killed him. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's the one who's like, I'm fucking done with you, man. And you can tell it's like their
Mm-hmm.
final fight. You don't get any anticipation toward it.
Oh
Like
yeah.
ahead of time, you just like, oh, Joker's back. I wonder how this is gonna play. It's like, no, this is their final fight, and you're gonna see it, and it's brutal. And Joker like guts him, and Bruce is like, I'm gonna punch you in the battering eye multiple times,
Uh-huh.
and he sets his corpse on fire. Like that doesn't
Uh-huh.
seem like something Batman would do.
It doesn't seem like something that one would do. But also when you look at like they reference in that fight, like how many hundreds of
True.
people, hundreds of thousands probably, of people have died as a direct result of Joker's existence, and he has no remorse
Hmm.
and no plan on stopping. At what point is eliminating him saving more lives?
Yeah,
I think almost immediately.
yeah.
Uh,
And
but
listen,
you
I'm with you.
know.
I'm very contradictory in this because when we get to our a movie we've been alluding to since the very beginning of the series, when we get to that,
Yeah.
Jason's not wrong.
Mm-mm.
It's
Nope.
not. It's not Cobblepot.
Wrong.
It's not Dent.
Um,
It's just him.
just him. Yeah. Anyways, we'll get there when we get
Yeah.
there. But I understand, like, at the same time, both things can be true. Eliminating Joker is like going to save lives,
Yeah.
and like, what is the cost of one against the many? However, Bruce can't be the one to do it for him to still be Batman in the Batman that we know and love and recognize. Like, if he does cross that line, he won't be the same person. And we see that in so many like Elseworld stories when you
Hmm.
get to see like uh, what happens to the world when Bruce does make that choice, when he does kill us as Batman, and what does that
Yeah.
mean for how he exists in the world after that. Um so like both things are true. Somebody needs to put a couple bullets in Joker's head, and it cannot be Bruce.
No. True. Uh, before we move on to our third topic and then talk about like our favorite moments in the movie in general, I want to, as much shit I've given, Frank Miller for again, great writer. It's just Batman feels weird now that I'm older and
Mhm.
I truly truly love Batman and the Bat family and I love his morality and main continuity and stuff like that. God damn, this is a good book and movie. I'm such a contradictory person because at the same time
Mhm.
it works. This movie specifically
Yeah.
works. The sequel to this does not. The sequel to that does not. The side story to that does not. The shit that happens after year one, but before this, sucks. This in a bubble, yeah, it fits, man. It works. As an Elseworld title, as something that you don't usually see, yeah, it's kind of cool to see Batman go a little crazy.
Mhm.
Um, but he just expands on this series so much that is so unnecessary, and it keeps like painting him in a worse light. Batman. It's like this is not my Batman to a certain degree. Like it's fine as an older Batman, be like, I've seen all the crazy shit there is. I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna enlist all these fucking gangs. I need help. I'm old as fuck. My
Yeah.
heart doesn't work the same. And to go on to the next
That
subject.
fucking animation of the X-ray vision with the heart
Mm,
something weird. That was excellent. That
yeah.
was very well done.
Um, and, when he gets help. He actively seeks help, which goes to our next subsection. Carrie Kelly. He actively like
Harry
is like, I'm cool with
Kelly.
you. I fuck with you.
Yeah.
You fuck with me. Let's go. You're my Robin. You said you're Robin. You're Robin.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
He has such a soft spot for
Immediately.
her. Again,
Yeah,
for
because that man
context,
doesn't know how to not adopt children.
but he shouldn't.
He
Because
puts
again, for
on them
context,
immediately. Again,
His
yeah.
Dick Grayson, you'll see if you ever read the post this, fucking crazy. And pre this is crazy because of Bruce. Bruce is the cause of effect of why Dick Grayson is crazy in this
He's
universe.
not a good parent,
No,
but he does like to collect ducklings.
and this is like his like
Um,
third attempt. He's like, I'm gonna get it right this time. This little girl's gonna be the one I get it right with. And it's like, what about the other two?
yeah. Yeah, in this continuity, she is the third, and we obviously see that. We get allusions to Dick. We don't get to see him actively in this universe, but there
Thank
was
God.
the falling out. He does, yeah. I agree with that. Thank God we don't see him. And then of course we have the deceased, Jason Todd, which I have so many feelings about everything about how they talk about Jason. Um, First of all, we get the display case, and I have feelings about the iterations of the display case. I don't mind this one where it's like the intact suit and not like the suit he was murdered in.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. Okay, whatever. You keep all your old suits. You can have one up. However, I do have a huge problem with when the display case has the plaque on it that says "a
Mm-hmm.
good soldier," and I have a problem with the use of that line in both of these movies.
Yeah.
Of course, in part one, we use it to refer to Jason. He was a good soldier, and I'm like, fuck you. That's not how you talk about a child.
Nope.
Um, and I thought I was over it, and then we get to part two, and somebody shoots through like the harness on the Batwing or whatever, and Carrie's falling,
Oh,
and she grabs onto the cape, and he drags her up, and he just like repeats like twice, a good soldier, and I'm like, fuck you, that is a child.
yeah. Stop
Again,
making child soldiers. God damn it,
stop
Bruce, you're the
making
problem.
child soldiers.
As a kid, and then it is
Um,
funny though because it, without the context of like again, Dark Knight. What's the sequel's name? I have it here because when we're done this episode, I'm gonna send you the bio for Dick Grayson in this universe, and
oh
it's
my
insane.
god.
Dark Knight Strikes Again and DK3 and All Star Batman and Robin. Without that context, without knowing all the shitty stuff that he does in those books,
Mhm.
it is like it is a beautiful moment for other than the soldier part that he's embracing this little girl. Like, no, you're scared. I got you. And it's that
Mhm.
Batman we love, right? We talked about it in Kid Crusader. Like he like
Yeah.
watches out for the kids. Matter of fact, that's this Carrie who he watches out for.
Yeah.
And that in this though, it has to be frustrating for like Dick Grayson and the spirit that is Jason Todd to be like, really? You're gonna hug her but not us? Fuck you, man. We were
Fuck
good soldiers too, bitch.
you. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, that all to say, I love Carrie Kelly. I
Yeah,
love
great.
her iteration here. Um Again, I do fucking adore the Gotham Knights 2024 TV show. I gotta say,
Is Carrie in that?
great show. Carrie is in that.
No shit. Oh shit.
And I really, really enjoy that take on Carrie Kelly, but it's fun to see because we did recently cover Cape Crusader and we got to see the baby
Oh,
Carrie and then also to see this Carrie
she's so
be
adorable
very
in that.
similar, and it was just adorable, and I adore everything about her. Um yeah, I think it was an interesting take on Robin in this point of Bruce's life. However, I do still have gripes with the fucking child soldiers that he keeps picking
Oh my god.
and then treating like shit.
Yeah, and he has like this this outlook for them. He's like and, like he gives her so much leeway as well. So you can tell like I don't know,
Mm,
maybe he's always wanted a daughter in this universe or something. He got two
apparently,
like
yeah.
dickhead
I mean,
sons.
he really is a girl dad with how he interacts with Cass. Like
That's
once Cassandra
true.
Cain comes into the picture, it's like so obvious she's the favorite, right? Like
Yeah, it's
immediately.
true. That is very true. So maybe that's what it is because there's multiple times where
Hmm.
he's like, "Hey, if you do this, you're fired." And she does it. He's like, "Am I fired?" And he's like, "No." I was like, all right.
Repeatedly. That was a good reoccurring bit. I
That
loved
was
that.
that was kind of cute. Maybe Frank Miller had a kid at this time. And he was like, I'm a little mellowed out,
Uh-huh.
from having a kid, and it's a girl. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah,
Mhm.
she's a great addition to the Robin pantheon. She's a great Robin legacy character. I would love for Carrie Kelly, like this version of Carrie Kelly, to meet Terry McGinnis because they're both sassy.
Oh
I
boy.
think they would
Yeah,
just
that
get
would be
along.
a hoot
They're
and a
both
half.
street kids, like two alternate futures. Like I would love for them to meet. I would love for them to meet.
I
But
would love for them to meet and talk solely in the jargon of their universe.
yeah, just to hear
That
Spud
would
and
be fascinating,
Sway and
yeah.
yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great. Um, so let's move on to the movie itself. Obviously, we talked a lot about like what we feel about Batman as a character, especially in this universe. That's most of this episode, funny enough. Um, any notes you wanna shout out? Let's start with part one.
Uh, Actually, I'm gonna go by theme, because as I was reading through this, we get a lot of a suicidal Bruce
Yeah,
throughout these two movies, and it's explicit. So we start with the race car driving, and whoever it is being like, "Are you trying to kill yourself?" And immediately I was like, "Yeah, probably."
yeah.
And then you get sassy Alfred, my beloved, with
Mm.
his like quote about the old family recipe. Um, and this is a reoccurring theme up until the end, where at the end of part two, he says, "I spent 10 years looking for a good death." And I'm like, yeah, it showed.
Yeah, it
Like, I'm
shows.
glad you found a good life, but
He
like,
actively
man was
drinks.
like actively suicidal. Like,
Yeah,
he's drinking heavily throughout these whole two movies. And that's like a fascinating like take on his mental well-being throughout
hmm
these movies. And I kind of like how it was included. I don't think it was like perfectly handled, but
no,
it
God no.
really added a dimension to this old
Yeah,
retired Bruce.
I mean, my man is killing bottles of bourbon. Ideally, that's
Oh,
that's
man.
brown liquor.
He's
He's like
struggling.
killing
Yeah.
bottles of brown liquor of some sort every night. It looked good. We gotta go back to that. The liquor always looks good in animation for some reason. God damn, it made me want to. I mean, I'm drinking a beer, but like I kind of want like a nice, neat glass of bourbon. Maybe next episode. Who knows? Yeah, I think that's an interesting thing because that was one of the early things. It was like race car driver Bruce Wayne. I also love that his helmet had like the little ears, had the
Oh,
little
can we talk
feathers.
about the ears? Because we were talking about something. Oh God, what episode was it in? Was it Fatal Five, where he takes off the spider mask or whatever, and the
Oh yeah,
ears pop
yeah,
up?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I was thinking about that moment because in these movies, the little nubs are tiny. They are like
They're so
minuscule.
petite.
They're
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 petite
so
bat
petite
ears. They're
and
like
delicate.
that.
Yeah.
They're barely bat. They're you could like. Oh, are you
Yeah.
wearing like a ski mask? No, they're bat. It's a bat
Yeah,
cowl. Can you
the
tell?
little bat cowl, yeah. And I thought that made me giggle.
They're so small
I
compared to
literally
how
wrote,
massive his body is in this.
yeah, this suit has the tiniest of ear nubs. They're just little nubbins.
The bat symbol both
Hmm.
pre and post like because he initially comes out with the yellow oval is
Hmm.
gigantic and fat. It's the fat Batman, which again you get this in BVS because again it's trying to copy someone's
Hmm.
homework, but it doesn't do it well. Um, and then at the end of the movie you get like this symbol, but like a version of it is still like a thick Batman symbol, but it's always the fucking ears are just like beep. Like it's very little. Like they're like that big. They're like half an inch big. Like is it for aerodynamic sakes? Like what are you trying to say?
Makes
What's the opposite of overcompensating for something? Because is that what you're trying to tell us, Batman? like what are you trying to say,
um,
sir?
it, it's certainly something, I don't know what it is. The next theme I have is sexiness. So under this banner, I'm gonna talk about the Jimmy Olsen cameo. for like 2 seconds. Loved that. That made my day.
Yeah, editor in chief
Um,
of the plant of what I'm assuming is like Galaxy Broadcasting Network. So it's maybe both
mhm,
that channel and Daily Planet, maybe.
mhm, theoretically. And then oh god, I don't remember his name. The mutant leader. Was that just his name? I think it
I think
was.
that was just I called him
Yeah.
what did I call him? I called him something stupid. Salami pepperoni patty. Because he got them salami
Okay. Yeah.
nipples.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he has the spiky nipple clamps.
Hmm.
Um, and most of my feelings about that were incredibly negative, but it was a look.
Yeah.
And then of course we got to talk about the Nazi titties.
Why? And like I forgot.
Why?
I forgot. And my favorite thing is I don't think anyone from work's watching. Um, actively, I'm actively doing work. My friend
Mhm,
Brianna looks over and is like, "Is that I don't listen. I know you judge me for a lot of stuff I watch. Do
mhm.
not judge the Nazi titties that are on screen right now. I do not condone Nazi titties. This podcast does not condone
We do not condone Nazi
Nazi
titties.
titties at all. We don't condone any form of weird fetishized sexy Nazi lady. Why? That's a thing apparently.
I gotta say though, the physics on the titties were
Yeah.
surprisingly good, which most of the time
Yeah.
people don't know how to animate women's bodies,
It's either
so
too
it's kind
bouncy
of
or nothing.
shocked. Yeah, it's either too bouncy or they walk like weird, like they don't know how humans walk. But like the
She was
the
able to fight
titty
bare
physics
chested.
were pretty pretty on point,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately because she had two hate symbols for nipples.
Yeah.
I forgot. I literally forgot that was a thing, and then I remember I was like, "Wait, is this just in the movie?" Like, no, that's in the book. That's definitely in the book, and it's just weird. It's weird all the time. I love my note for that fight was, "Oh man, this Nona has hands, or Nona's got moves." I love that Bruce dresses up as a fucking babushka, basically,
Mhm.
and just like
Yeah.
wrecks shop for no reason. Um,
There was a lot of Bruce cosplaying other people
for like no
in part
reason.
2 for no
Yeah,
reason.
he was just doing it for fun.
All right.
It just seemed like fun for him. He just likes
It's
doing
like I'm
this.
retired. I'm not gonna actually do the work of putting on the. I
Alfred
think it's
really
the
showed me how to
Brucey
like act.
using that Royal Academy of
Uh-huh.
Shakespeare. Love that for
Um
him.
his strength within the movie is insane. Like how strong Bruce is, because at one point I put this like early on, he bare fists like the roof of a car. It's not a
Mhm.
convertible. That's metal. He like puts his whole hand through to grab the person. And there's multiple times where he does shit. It's funny
I
in
mean, he does
trivia.
have reinforcements.
I,
His suit is basically metal.
fair, but like that old man's got muscles. He's also
Yeah.
built like a brick shit house. Like
Mm-hmm. Old
he's
man strength. Nothing to
yeah.
scoff at.
And we're not talking about like absolute Batman, which at this point of recording, I think it has launched already. And that man's built for no reason in that universe. Like this one makes a little sense. It looks like he's been through shit, but he's got like that old man strength. He's got like he looks strong. He just looks even in his suit. You're like that man's got muscles right under that. Bruce tries to hide it when he's younger, and as older Bruce, he's like,
Mm-hmm.
nah, I'm gonna show him off. And funny piece of trivia that we'll touch on very quickly. At one point, they tried to make this into a live action, many years ago, and
Jesus
they wanted
Christ.
to cast Clint Eastwood as Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
I mean, it would have worked. Are you gonna tell Academy Award winning director Clint Eastwood, yo man, you gotta bulk up for Batman? I'm pretty sure he would tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
all right, so
Well,
CGI, got you. We'll CGI your muscles on there, no problem. We could do that. We could do that. Um, I did have. Oh, you know what? There's a good question in my notes that I wanted to mention. Um,
mhm.
well, there's a note here that says, "Guess that's how Jason felt." that's when the mutant leader beat the balls off of Bruce with the fucking crowbar. I'm like, oh god.
That
Uh,
fucking crowbar. I had a similar thought. I
yeah,
was like, you deserved that one.
yeah, that felt personal for some reason.
Mhm.
Um, Batman just whoops ass the whole like all his hand to hand fights are beautifully choreographed in animation. They really give you the feel of like hard hitting. Like he feels like every punch hurts him and the person. um, I where's the one note I had here was, what are your thoughts on him weaponizing his former foe's powers? Because he uses fear gas and
Yeah.
freezes like ice powers, basically, like his ice gun technology, at twice in this movie. And he tells the guy,
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you have an hour of you seeing me like a fucking nightmare version." I don't know how I feel. Like, did he perfect the fear toxin to the point where it's not like, is it just like micro dosing? You know, like is he micro dosing these
Microdosing
villains
fear toxin. I'm sure that exists somewhere in
in
the
Gotham?
universe of Gotham.
Oh,
Somebody's
100%.
definitely microdosing fear toxin.
That and
Um,
Joker's Venom.
yeah, unfortunately. I think the Scarecrow fear gas will be more successful at that than the Venom,
Hmm.
but yeah, for sure. I don't like it, honestly. Like I feel like it's resorting to, nefarious tactics, and you have so many gadgets and gizmos to like restrain and neutralize
Hmm.
without causing like permanent like psychic damage
There's a
to your opponents.
there's a good chance, especially with fear toxin, that person's not just an hour fucked up. Like he's fucked up forever. Like there's a
Fucked
good.
up forever.
It's like
Yeah,
I'm in the middle of a fight. I'm gonna inject LSD into my
yeah.
opponent's bloodstream, and it's just like whatever happens, happens.
That
Like
is,
no, that's
yeah,
dirty. Don't do that.
nefarious and evil. Yeah.
That kind of plays
Okay.
into the fact that this Bruce is just dirty. Like he fights dirty.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because he's old now. He's like, I gotta fight dirtier. I gotta fight a little meaner than I used to because I'm older.
I mean, yeah, it's giving beyond when he grabs the gun and it's like, I
True.
couldn't physically.
Yeah, I just needed to get him away. Like at that point,
Mhm.
yeah, it does kind of work that way. Trying to think of another note that I had
I
here.
have one last question.
Oh yes, please.
Um, and it's when we're talking about right after Clark fucking laser beams Ware into the
Where?
grass,
It's so
which
fucking
iconic.
sassy. Yeah,
But
get a
of
room.
course, Bruce get a room indeed. Of course, Bruce was um, like Park Row, like Crime Alley, because why would he cause property damage in the rich neighborhoods? What? Because obviously, you can only destroy the poor areas that will never be rebuilt.
Yeah, Bruce is part of the problem.
Like, Bruce is the problem.
Yeah,
He's like 87% of the problem in this one.
Bruce specifically, not Batman. Bruce is
Bruce,
the
yeah,
problem. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, I we could talk more about the Joker fight when we come to drama class. I did love Ollie's introduction. I like that this Ollie has paid for some kind of crime that he's done, and he only has one arm, and he's
Fucking,
still that good of a shot. I
oh
love
yeah.
it.
I mean, it's all very clean.
Um,
Uh,
there's so many Easter eggs. I don't know if you noticed. There's like a Christopher Reeve
yeah.
poster. There's Watchmen
Uh,
comic. There's
Killer friend.
yeah. There's
Sorry.
a
Yeah.
Sandman comic. Boo, Neil Gaiman, go fuck yourself. Crisis on Infinite Earths. There's V for Vendetta. There's a lot of cool like nods to comic books of this time on the stands. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's a nice little shout out. Um, here before we get into drama class, this is a good thing. What are your thoughts on two of the big bads within the movies, the mutant leader and Joker? How they predict Joker fucking murders a shitload of people. This Joker is like making up for lost time.
This Joker is intense and unhinged and like terrifying
Mhm.
in the best way for his character. Like, he is quote unquote rehabilitated, and it seems to make him even more determined and ruthless. and horrifically terrifying. Like, this man is straight up like insane.
Mhm.
And that's horrifying to face down, and it makes for an excellent villain. And I don't particularly love the Joker as a character, obviously,
Fair.
because he's horrifically unhinged. Um, However, he makes an excellent foil for a character like Batman, and I think that's why they both exist to play off each other. And we get a really good, interaction and dynamic between them here, and I feel like he serves his purpose.
Hmm. Yeah, it's funny that he's not the crux, especially in 1986.
Hmm.
Joker is like, it's like at the time, now he's overused. He's almost the only person that's like invited to the party when it comes villain wise, or he's
Yeah.
got to be featured in one shape or form. Even in Matt Reeves' Batman. Um, but when you get to this, he's an important part of the story, but he's just part of the story. He's not the
Hmm.
crux of it. He's an important antagonist for Batman in this,
Hmm.
but he's not the be all end all that he's portrayed to nowadays.
Yeah.
It's like Frank Miller knows the importance of the Joker, but doesn't overuse and have him overstay his welcome. No
And I think that's
shocker.
the important
Oh yeah,
place for him to be.
yeah, and no shocker. Of course, like when Frank revisits Joker, he adds too much convoluted, stupid shit to him, and he's like dirty and he's gross, and he has sex. And it's like weird to think about Joker having sex. Like, why? It's just weird, gross. Yeah. But just suppose the mutant leader is just a savage beast, just a savage,
Yeah.
savage beast, but who also at the same time is like, don't call us a gang, okay? We're a movement. like,
Uh-huh.
like okay,
I
'Cause-
respect it.
yeah.
I really enjoyed the mutant leader as the kind of impetus for Bruce returning, and I do love the more grounded stories. I like reading about like the crime bosses and the
Mm-hmm.
social hierarchies and like what people are fighting for and why they're committed to this cause.
Yep.
And so to get that in also combining the little bit of unhinged, like, the crazies of the Rogue Gallery, with the like groundedness of, people are just in this because they have a need that's not being fulfilled, and they can get it through joining this movement and, having that stance like, this is not a gang. We are here to like revolutionize the world in our image. That's
Mm-hmm.
a very powerful thought that's used throughout, propaganda for all time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, that's a good way to see it too. It's just funny to have someone so massive and so physically imposing also have like a strong like, no, this is like an ideal to
Hmm.
strive
Yeah.
toward. He's not just like this mindless like hulking man, which I
Hmm.
mean, we're not too used to in DC. We have Bane, who does serve that purpose for like main continuity, but for like this, it was nice to see. So moving
And I also
on,
love
yeah.
the way that made, Batman interact with him as a character. You
Mm-hmm.
have to defeat him, you have to humiliate him in front of his people, or they will continue this fight. They will continue this
Yeah.
movement, and their minds can't be changed without this like devastating blow to somebody they see as infallible.
Yeah, because as physically imposing he is to his subordinates, he's also that dangerous mentally to society. In his ideals. It's interesting because he wants to take him out. He actively like argues with Alfred to be like, no, I need to do this. Like this needs to be
Yeah.
what happens. Um, Moving on, we're going to go to drama class. This is one of my favorite parts as we act out some of our favorite scenes within this movie. We're gonna break this up. So I have two scenes for each part. So we're gonna start with part one. We're gonna start with the mutant leader, as we were just mentioning, and Batman fighting. Um, who would you like to be, Sly? Because
I'll
the
be
next,
Batman for this one because
okay,
I want you to be Batman for the part two.
okay, fair, 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 fair. And then you have to be Alfred for the next one.
Thank
I know how
you.
much you love sassy ass Alfred. Who's like 90 in this.
Oh yeah, he's ancient. And he's still, getting around.
He's still
And
doing
it's
his thing,
impressive.
man. Yeah, he's still
Honestly.
doing his thing despite having still to deal with this fucking man child.
Really.
All right, so, Mute Leader picks up Batman out of the mud. You finished, old man? Batman headbutts Mute Leader in a broken nose.
You don't get it, son. This isn't a mud hole. It's an operating table. And I'm the surgeon.
And then proceeds to put him in a fucking cross arm bar, breaks his arm, and then a leg lock and breaks his leg in front of.
Mhm.
And even the other people are
Opposite
like, "Oh
arms
god,
and legs.
yeah."
He's, you can't even like crutch in one hand, like limp. Like you're just out of commission.
Also, I like to think that Bruce's autistic ass is like driving home, or Carrie's
Mhm.
driving him home, and he's like mumbling, "I see what I did there, Dad. I said operating table because you were a surgeon." Like fucking idiot. I love you, stupid
Fucking
ass.
dork.
All right. So now next is Alfred with an amazing line and very Alfred on point.
If it's suicide you're after, I have an old family recipe. It's slow and painful. You'd like it. Yeah, I
uh
would like it, Alfred.
all right. Next, we are going to part two, and two of the most seminal lines, like the crux, like what everyone usually talks about with this movie, is the fight between Joker and then his infamous line against Superman. We will start with his fight with Joker. Do you want me Batman for both of them, or you want to?
Sure.
Okay, cool. And so you be Joker, since you
Okay.
know how much
Yeah.
you love Joker.
Yeah. Uh-huh. My favorite character.
Yeah,
It's not like he murders all my faves.
exactly.
I think we're just gonna skip the stage directions for this one. Just go
Yeah,
through the dialogue.
that's fair. That's fair. No more. All the people I've murdered by letting you live.
I never kept count.
I did.
I know, and I love you for it. It's finally here, isn't it? The moment we've both dreamed about. Oh, don't tell me you're gonna fall asleep before we finish. You have gotten old, haven't you? Not quite how I imagined it, but we can still end on a high note. You're in trouble now. Go ahead. Say this has never happened to you before.
Shut up.
Make me. Come on. Finish me. Ah, doesn't matter. I win. I made you lose control. And I'll kill you for it. See you in hell.
Dude, that is such a fucking iconic line. Michael Emerson kills it. Figuratively and literally. Um he absolutely kills that scene. Just everything about it is so brutal too. It feels like a final, as I mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
It does feel like a final end for them, and it's interesting too because he knows he's like, by me dying, I just fucked you over. You lost control,
I
which also
win.
helps. Yeah, like he wins. He truly wins. This is like the only universe that Joker wins, and he took Jason from him. It's like doubly bad. God damn, this Joker like fully won.
Double whammy.
Yeah.
And he kind of has his shit together. That suit when he goes on the talk show.
Oh
Like
yeah.
damn, I was like, you're not allowed to look that good. You're the Joker.
No.
The little
Also,
he doesn't do the crazy smile, but he always has the
very
lipstick.
subtle.
The
Yes.
poison, mind control. Very understated.
Uh
Very
huh.
mindful. Very demure.
Very demure, and I love that he's older now. He's like, oh, put a little extra on the eyes.
A
Yeah, a
little
little
bit.
more. Yeah,
A little
love it.
taste. Yeah.
Shout out to this most random vocal cameo, by the way. We didn't mention Conan O'Brien and Andy Richter as the show host. And Conan O'Brien, by the way, fucking kills it when he's dying of the Joker venom,
Mm-hmm.
like Joker laughs
Yeah.
gas, and he's like his laugh as he's perishing. I'm like, damn, Conan O'Brien, you need to do more voice work. God damn, that was good.
Oh, speaking of random cameos, we got Paget Brewster again,
Oh
with
yeah.
also a jump scare. I was like, holy shit, this is the second time I've been Paget Brewster, and I'm not mad about it.
Let's see. If we go for a turkey, she's going to be 3 for 3. A hat trick. That's probably a better one. Since we're both hockey fans, we'll go with the hat trick. There you go. All right. So the final line we're gonna focus on is one of the most iconic lines in all of comic book history. It is the basis of why Zack Snyder created a very subpar Batman versus Superman movie. It's okay. The extended cut does a better job of it, but that's still like 3.5 hours that you should not watch that movie, unless
Yeah,
you
that's too many
truly love
hours.
Batman and or Superman like I do. It's not a horrible movie. It's not a great movie.
Mhm.
But this is how he announced it as well with this specific quote. This is how much this quote means to everyone. This is Batman. This is like when he is beating the shit out of Clark. He's been shot with a
Mhm.
kryptonite arrow in the face. Like he's got like the kryptonite mist. He's already beaten up
Great
because he's got
effect, by the way.
he's already got beaten up as well because he got nuclear blasted by the
Yeah, he got
Russians.
nuked in
Yeah,
space.
yeah, by the Russians and all this other shit. So he's weakened already.
Mhm.
And this whole fight is basically to prove a point, and this is coming down to Batman. So I didn't have to go easy on you. A different binding agent, a stronger mix. I want you to remember that. I wanted to remind you to stay out of my way. In all the years to come, in your most private moments, I want you to remember the one man who beat you.
You got a great Batman growl going down.
Thank you. Been working on that. Shout out to Susan for those voice acting lessons that I got to start.
There you go.
Yeah. But that is quiz time with one of the most iconic scenes in literally all of comic books. Insane. Sorry, not quiz time. We're about to do quiz time. These are very Frank forward because I thought Frank would have been here. Spoilers, Frank is not here for this episode, but he did have notes. According to our meeting when we pitched that he should be on this, he said, "Fuck yeah, I love that movie." So Frank really likes this
Yeah.
movie. That's his contribution. That's how he contributed to this episode. I'm still gonna ask these questions, but we don't have to
Alright.
worry about points because
Okay,
it doesn't
great.
matter. We'll start with the very hard one, the one that was very Frank Ford. The Batcopter's design resembles what Metal Gear Solid aircraft? Snake battles.
Fucking hell. I've only consumed Metal Gear through like watching other people like clips of watching other people play through these games. I
Mhm.
have no fucking clue.
The answer is a Hind D. And you can find out more
Which
of
game
that.
is for that?
Oh yeah, yeah. That is from Metal Gear Solid 1, which you can watch
Okay,
our
okay.
playthrough right now on Point in Progress YouTube channel,
Yeah.
youtube.com
Go
slash Point in
check out
Progress.
Metal Beard Solid.
Yes,
It's great. It's a fun time. It's a party.
it is. It is. And that's literally why I had this up. I was like, oh, Frank's on Metal Gear Solid. He's going to be on this. The Batcopter is based off of Hind D, which Snake fights. And no. So that question was specifically for Frank. Um,
Mhm.
this one there's a lot of context clues. So it's again, you're probably not gonna get it. It's totally fine. I always
Right.
forget about this little nugget of knowledge. Frank Miller, who wrote the comic book,
Okay.
wrote the
Mhm.
screenplay to what futuresque cop movie starring Peter Weller?
I don't know who Peter Weller is. Do I? Is
Li-
this like last time if I Google his face, I'll know who he is?
I'm pretty sure if you Google his face, it would just show the character from this movie. So I please
Oh,
do it. No problem. Do not worry about
okay.
that.
All right. Peter Weller. Oh, it's RoboCop.
Yep. Frank
Yeah, it
Miller wrote
was the
the
first
screenplay
thing
to
that I-
RoboCop 2. Uh,
Wow, iconic. Good for
yeah.
him.
Yep. Yep, that was I saw the trivia. I'm like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, I always forget that. I love
All
RoboCop
right.
too.
Yeah.
But watch that way too young. Will never show my kids that movie. Not until they're full ass adults.
Uh-huh.
All right, and that's quiz time. Finally, we're gonna go through homeroom.
Oh, Peter Weller was the voice of Dr. Stern in Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, the 2024 uh Marvel animated TV show.
Oh, I guess I didn't watch that episode. Damn it. Did I not watch that? I got kind of far, but then my son kept watching Even though I was like, hey man, it's
Yeah.
Tuesday night. We're gonna watch Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, right? He's like, I watched it all. I was like, all right, cool. I'll just
Yeah,
go
it was
home.
season 2, episode 9, so I definitely did not watch
Oh
it.
shit, I've
But
not
I
seen
liked
season
what I
2.
did watch.
I
I
loved what I
didn't
watched.
realize season 2 was out yet.
Yeah, damn. Come on, Disney, you gotta do better at promoting that. God damn, that's a
Yeah,
what I
they
watched.
didn't
I
promote it
loved.
when it was coming out.
Fair. I mean, facts. Because like the only promotion I ever saw was that Donald Glover fight scene, which was really well done. But that's like episode 4. Like,
Yeah,
you get nothing beforehand. It's a great series. So watch it. This is not a
it is an
Marvel
excellent
series,
series. Yeah.
but watch it. It's a really good show. Um, Final thoughts, Sly. What are your thoughts on The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2?
Yeah, it was a movie. It was 2 movies actually. That was
Yeah.
the false statement. Um, it was fun to revisit the first one, and I was absolutely flabbergasted that I hadn't seen part 2. Like, I could have sworn that I had like sat down with somebody who'd like totally legally spliced together these 2 movies and watched them like straight through together. Apparently I didn't do that. So, maybe that's on me. And I just didn't think too hard about it the first time around. But yeah, it was good to visit this. I always enjoy seeing Bruce in different stages of his life. I like that we get to jump around. We just had a year 1 story and now jumping to much later in his life, post retirement and then coming back. We get to see such a range of who Bruce is. Oh, I lost your camera.
Oh no, I'm still here though.
And
Right?
who okay,
Oh no,
that's fine.
I lost you.
And who like Batman is as a figure and how he interacts with the world around him. Um and so I like that we got to compare these 2 movies so close together and really dive into the intricacies and the differences. And like, of course, in this one, we got an old Gordon who's retiring, and we have this new young comparatively woman, Yandel, stepping into that commission step seat, who is actively hunting Batman,
Yeah,
and he has this animosity with the police that we didn't see previously. They were working together, they were collaborating. And I think that whoever put this spreadsheet together and put these 2 movies back to back did a pretty good job comparing
should definitely pat
different
themselves on the back.
storylines together. But yeah, it was fun. It was great. I enjoyed it. Obviously we had our critiques and our thoughts and opinions about the different elements, but overall, good time, good
Yeah,
vibes.
no,
Fuck
absolutely.
Nazis.
Fuck Nazis.
And by that, I don't mean like physically fuck them, like F you, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Despite this woman's enormous Nazi breast. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
don't do it. I know I'm very choppy
Yeah,
right now. I
no.
don't know why my camera is, but we
Eh,
got good connection.
it's fine.
So
It happens.
we're at the tail end of this episode. We're on the home plate.
Yeah.
We're running to home. So sorry for video watchers. I don't know what the hell's going on. No, it is interesting. I mean, I think I spent bulk of the episode, talking about how divisive this story is, especially as I got older, and being a Batman fan. I think this is a seminal, Batman story. I think it's a very important one to
Yeah.
read and watch. I think this does a really good job of adapting that storyline. And I am very contradictory to myself by saying this is an
Mhm.
amazing story on the same token that this is also a very rough Batman story. This is not the
Yeah.
Batman we grew up with. This is, he is a little morally darker than I would have. Listen, he is the Dark Knight for a reason, right? He's a little rough around the edges, but like it's a little too
Yeah.
dark. This is like black coffee compared to like, oh, put a little milk in it, it's fine. And a little
I
sugar.
think how I would differentiate it, I think this is a great story with subpar characterization.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's good. I think that
And I
really
think you
works
can
that way.
have both. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think one of the things is, oh, there it is. Hey, I'm back. I don't know what I did. I think again, this in a nutshell, really, really good. I think I implore anyone to read this book. I think it's a very good book. I mentioned this in a previous episode. DC has this new initiative where they are having like almost like compact, almost like paperback versions. You know how you get the paperback book and it's like smaller and more compact. I forget what the initiative's called, but you can find these like at a lot of WalMarts, a lot of like Targets, and then your local comic book shop, of course. But they're like compactor versions of seminal DC stories. I believe this is in the first wave. I implore you, go get it. I think it's a really good buy. I think it's really good to read. The art, from Klaus Janson, I believe is the artist. Really good. Again, this man hates Superman for some reason, so that's a little weird if you love Superman. Uh,
Mhm.
but at the same token, I implore you never to read All Star Batman and Superman. Never read All Star Superman. Never read Dark Knight Returns Strikes Again. I believe that's the name of the book. I forget what it is. Or DK3. There's just so many weird things in it. I'll give you a little nugget to deter people away. Superman and Wonder Woman have sex in that book in the sequel, and it destroys a mountain and causes tsunami on the other side of the world. Um,
Okay, that's a choice.
yeah,
I hope it was good for them. Not
it's
great for the world, but
yeah, not great for the world. So this is weird. That's just Frank Miller. I always say
Mhm.
there's some people that you can maybe get a good movie out. Like again, I kind of like Scott.
A good story.
Yeah, I like. Listen, I like some Zack Snyder stuff. I'm not. I don't love all his work, but he does need someone to be like, hey man, not too much. You're going too much. Going too full
Yeah.
board.
Mhm.
Bring it back a little bit. Bring it back a little bit. Michael
Mhm.
Bay, another one. Hey man, you getting a little too crazy. You need someone. You need to rein it in a little bit. Oh, okay, we reined in Michael Bay. We got Bad Boys 2. That's a good movie. You rein Michael Bay in, you get The Island. That's a good movie. You rein Frank Miller in, hey, you get The Dark Knight Returns and Batman Year One. You don't rein them in, you get All Star Batman and Robin. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what I'm talking
With
about.
you.
So
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely watch this movie. Absolutely read the book. Um, but yeah, I think that's it. Episode wise, I think we're good there, especially with my camera being weird again. Um, let's tease what homework is, which is our first anthology for our series, which is going to be Batman Gotham Knight. Not to be confused with Gotham Knights, the if you
The
actually
2024
hit
TV show
TV series,
on Max. Streaming
and
on Max.
that's all Max. Is this all
Yeah.
Max? Just make sure it's
I don't
animated.
know.
No,
But I do know that the DVD is already in my Blu-ray player. It's queued up. I'm ready for
well, that makes one of us. Am I got to scour the
it.
internet for this? Who knows? But I hope you like anime for your next episode, ladies and gentlemen, and my non-binary folk out there, because that's what we're getting is our first anthology anime series. Again, Batman
I'm
Gotham
stoked.
Knight is your homework,
Mhm.
and till next time, class is dismissed.
Ready.